The new PlayStation VR2 headset is coming February 22nd with over 30 exciting new games releasing for it over the course of this year, including titles from Jurassic World, Resident Evil, Star Wars and more. Let's look at what we have in store. First, it's important to note that the PS VR2 headset is not backwards compatible. As this list features all of the games Sony have confirmed to be coming to its next-gen VR headset, we'll be looking at a mix of new games that haven't released yet and older titles re-releasing for the PS VR2, including free upgrades. I've included chapters in the video, so if you don't like a game I'm talking about, you can easily skip to the next. Let's get into it. From the creators of the popular VR game Arizona Sunshine comes a new co-op title that pits up to 4 players against a vast hostile world in a raging fight for survival. After the Fall is set in the ice-covered ruins of LA nearly 20 years after the apocalypse, where a mysterious outbreak caused by the excessive use of designer drugs has birthed the terrible snowbreed, infesting our cities and collapsing civilization. You, one of the survivors seemingly immune to the side effects of the substances, are humanity's last hope of resurgence. And I just gotta say, I'm in, okay? Anything remotely zombie-esque has my attention, and we'll be seeing more games like that later on in the list. Dive into a ruined world with the next game, Altair Breaker, a sword-fighting VR where machines called laws have taken over humanity. I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling to find a whole lot on this game, and it seems like the few people that have played it don't like it. Apparently the weapons feel off, and there's not a lot of replay value here, so maybe give this one a miss. Luckily the next one seems a little better, Before Your Eyes. Embark on an emotional adventure in this award-winning title where you control the story and affect its outcomes with your real-life blinks.
Every time you blink, you're going to jump forward in time. Could be a second, could be 5 years.
The game uses the PS VR2's headset's front-facing camera to immerse you in a new kind of way. You'll learn to control the flow of the narrative with your actual eyes, blinking through precious memories of family, your first love and more. With excellent reviews and a moving story, if you're a fan of narratives, you might like this. And you've probably heard of the next game too, because Cities Skylines is getting its own VR. If you like the idea of managing and building cities, then look no further than this wildly popular modern take on the classic city simulation trope. And now with VR, it's more immersive than ever. You can step through the screen and watch your skyline rise from a bird's eye view, or get up close and personal to watch your city come alive from the streets. Who's excited for this one? Let me know in the comments. If you miss high school, here's your chance to go back, although I think this might be a little different. Cosmonious High, which sounds like Snoop Dogg's latest album, is a vibrant adventure game that sees you crash land your way into your first day at an alien high school. You'll unlock powers, get to explore the school, and discover the source of malfunctions to save the place from cosmic chaos. The game has received pretty great reviews so far, with many praising its lovable characters. If you like cute visuals and family-friendly fun, this one has you covered. Or if you would rather have a good workout, then a little VR boxing might be for you. That's what you'll get with Creed Rise to Glory. Based on the Rocky franchise, you'll put in the gloves of underdog Adonis Creed, rise through the ranks and become a champion to be reckoned with. That is not a good sentence for someone that can't say the letter R properly. You even get to train with Rocky Balboa himself in the career mode. Or if you prefer, you can load up multiplayer and fight against another real life opponent. This one sounds a lot of fun to me, I need in on this. Next, you can rejoice if you are a fan of the Dark Pictures franchise, because the next game is the Dark Pictures Switchback, an action horror rail shooter that once again utilizes your blinks for a more immersive experience. Don't blink. The game will detect your pupils, and in the blink of an eye, you could have more enemies creeping up on you. It has a lot of replay value too, with different choice paths for you to explore. I've never played a Dark Pictures game, but this one has me enticed. Tabletop board games are making their return, in VR that is. The main objective of this game, Demeo, is to get to the Nevermost catacombs and defeat the enemy on that floor. On each floor, a monster holds a key to the floor exit, which then gets you to the next floor. There are 4 available heroes to choose from, that being the Guardian, the Assassin, the Sorcerer, and the Hunter, each with their own unique abilities. You know, I wonder how many things are going to become outdated just to be repopularized in VR. If you like visual novels, then you should try Dyschronia, Chronos Ultimate, an interactive visual novel, detective, and puzzle game. Set within an artificial marine city where its residents are sheltered from the wider world, uniting them is augmented dreaming, which shares each citizen's feelings across a dream state that supervisors can explore, making crime practically non-existent, which is why it's so shocking when the city's founder is murdered. Whilst Dyschronia has an interesting premise, I think this type of game as a VR experience is an acquired niche, since you'll probably mostly be standing around watching conversations happen around you. Some people might love being immersed in a visual novel this way, but if you're looking for something gameplay heavy, look elsewhere. Originally released on the PlayStation 2 in 2000, Fantavision, a puzzle game based on the theme of fireworks. The basic goal of the game here is to, well, catch and shoot them. When you get 3 of the same color, you can release them into the night sky. The game is an artistic combination of action, shooting, strategy, and puzzles, with its gameplay being described as simple yet addictive. Next on the list is Gran Turismo 7, a launch day title for the new PlayStation VR 2. Gran Turismo Sport also supported VR with the first generation headset, but it was in an extremely limited capacity. Players could only partake in races against a single AI car. Gran Turismo 7 looks to do VR on a much wider scale, with it being confirmed that all races and modes except for local split screen play will be available, and that includes online races. Next up is Horizon Call of the Mountain, and this game looks beautiful. So far we don't know a whole lot about it, except that it of course takes place in the world of Horizon, but Aloy is not the main character here. The Horizon series has yet to disappoint, so I don't doubt that this will go down as one of the PSVR's GOATs. From the developers that made Cosmonious High comes Job Simulator, a game where you can participate in simulated jobs in a job museum. The jobs are represented as tongue-in-cheek approximations of real occupations. There's auto mechanic, gourmet chef, store clerk, and office worker. You'll perform tasks associated with that occupation, some of them realistic and others more comical. For example, in the office worker simulation, you'll get to engage in activities like evaluating new employees and transferring calls, but then you'll also be called upon to eat donuts and share photos at the water cooler. Man, I could go for some donuts right now. Maybe I need an office job. Remember when I said anything zombies related has my attention? Well, the same is true of dinosaurs, and who does dino fiction better than Jurassic Park? But this next game isn't like Jurassic World Evolution, although that would be awesome. Jurassic World Aftermath is a survival game. You've just crash landed onto Isla Nublar and are now being hunted by velociraptors. To survive, you'll need to explore the research facility, solve puzzles, and find a way to outsmart the ferocious dinos that are stalking your every move. All in VR! This sounds amazing, even though I'm probably gonna get eaten. So perhaps something more relaxing instead. Kayak VR Mirage is a gorgeous kayaking experience that lets you traverse stunning locations in a fully physically accurate kayak. You can race between checkpoints to become the fastest, or just simply enjoy the ride in free roam. But if you want something a little more energetic, then you might like the next game, Kizuna AI, Touch the Beat, a rhythm game where you're an audience member at Kizuna AI's performance stage. If you want to combine a Japanese VTuber with what seems like Beat Saber, give this one a try. Moving on, the Last Clockwinder, is a VR puzzle game where your mission is to repair the Clock Tower, an ancient haven for the galaxy's plants and seeds. Use the Clockwinder's gloves to turn every task into a looping clockwork automaton where these clones can do everything that you can do. Here you need to create an interconnected system of automatons to grow plants, harvest resources, and work together to save the clock tower. The Light Brigade is a tactical roguelike shooter. You get to enlist in the Light Brigade, which is humanity's last line of defense, and journey through procedurally generated battlegrounds. As you progress the ranks, you'll unlock new weapons, upgrades, classes, and abilities as you fight to restore the light to darkness. The Light Brigade features realistic gunplay inspired by historical World War weaponry that creates tense battles against increasingly difficult enemy soldiers, creatures, and bosses. Next up is Moss 1 and 2 Remastered. These are puzzle adventure games. Moss 1 sets you in a library where you find an old book. As you flick through pages, you're transported to a fantasy land contained within, where you then meet a young mouse named Quill, and thus begins your adventure. Both games received excellent reviews, and I'm pretty sure Sony actually gave away the original Moss a couple years ago as part of their Play at Home thing. Did you play it already? What do you think? One for sports fans next, with NFL Pro Era, the first fully licensed NFL VR simulation game. Players will find themselves in the role of a quarterback with the freedom to pick their teams and play through an entire NFL season, trying to lead them to victory. NFL Pro Era is coming to the PSVR 2 as a free upgrade. Another game getting a free update is No Man's Sky, which will be available on the next-gen headset on launch day. You probably remember No Man's Sky from its controversial release back in 2016, but the game's come a long way since then. In case you're not familiar, the core gameplay loop here is the same as that of many other survival exploration games. You harvest resources, build a base, upgrade your character, fight foes, and so on. The unique selling point of No Man's Sky is that as you fly around space, you can visit every planet you see, and there's like literally trillions of them. Even every star is a sun you can visit. I actually haven't got around to playing No Man's Sky yet, so maybe the VR version will be my introduction. The next one is a game I am super excited for. Pavlov VR, a multiplayer shooter set both in modern and World War II times. There are a number of different modes and different ways to experience the game, each as action-packed as the last. You could find yourself taking down a failed lab experiment in 1 versus all gameplay, teaming up with 3 other players to fight off hordes of zombies, or working together with a teammate in a tank to wipe out a squad of enemy players. With even a prop hunt game mode and more, Pavlov VR has plenty of content to keep fans entertained. And it's a PSVR 2 launch title, which means it's coming February 22nd. Another fast-paced shooting game, but different, is Pistol Whip, an action rhythm game with a soundtrack that goes hard. The idea here is that you're supposed to fire on the beat, finding your flow and racking up points in the process. On the intense modes, this game could be a real workout, so if you want to get some cardio in whilst you play, consider picking it up. Or if you'd rather just chill, then maybe Puzzling Places is what you need. This is a wholesome 3D jigsaw puzzle game. The controls are snappy and intuitive and very satisfying. Combined with the ambient noises that create a truly calming atmosphere, I think some people might be surprised by just how much they enjoy this one. If you own Resident Evil Village on the PS5, then you'll be getting a DLC for the VR version absolutely free. The entirety of the game's main story will be available to play on PlayStation VR 2, allowing you to experience all the events Ethan Winters faces as he sets out to rescue his kidnapped daughter, but with the greatest level of immersion possible now. This will be a new and exciting challenge for lovers of the horror genre, which comes as a launch day title. Next up is another musical rail shooter, Rez Infinite. Following a hacker's journey into a malfunctioning AI system, the game has players controlling their avatar as they shoot down numerous enemies. The gameplay and projectile hits sync with the music and gives you vibration feedback. The original Rez game was released for the PlayStation 2 way back in 2001, so there might be some nostalgia here for some people. Enter a beautiful but deadly prehistoric world with our next game, Song in the Smoke, an immersive survival adventure. Like most survival titles, you have to find materials to craft weapons, healables, clothes and more to allow you to continue your journey in this mysterious world. At times you'll find yourself as either the hunter or the hunted, using your senses to either stalk your prey or using your weapons and wit to fight off predators. The game also features a day and night cycle which will see creatures' behaviors change accordingly. This game has received a ton of praise and I think it looks really interesting, so if you're into survival games, you should check it out. Next is Star Wars: Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. This game takes place between Star Wars The Last Jedi and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. You continue your adventures as a droid repair technician in the outskirts of Black Spire Outpost, taking on unexpected alliances and deadly enemies alike. You get to decide how to tackle your missions in this game. Do you go stealth and try to sneak past enemies, or do you fight your way through them? Different difficulty levels allow you to experience the game just how you like, so you can truly become the hero of your own Star Wars adventure. Synth Riders next is a freestyle dance rhythm game that will help you dance, game, work out all at the same time, with modifiers to help you customize your gameplay experience, an in-game virtual fitness watch to help you track your calories, even the ability to create your own beat maps with the free editor. Synth Rider looks to be a fun, heart-racing fan favorite of the music rhythm genre. Something a little different is the Tale of Onogoro, self-described as an adventure with a cute anime girl and Portal meets the Shadow of Colossus. The Tale of Onogoro sees you team up with Haru, who has summoned you to help her solve puzzles and slay beasts. Teamwork here is essential as some objects can only be used by one of you. If this sounds like your cup of tea, it's coming to PSVR 2 on launch day. Have you ever felt like a squid out of water? Me neither, I don't even know what that means. But our next game, Tentacular, plunges you into the ocean-dwelling hulk of a gigantic but kind-hearted tentacled squid just trying to figure out its place in the world. In this game, you're tasked with solving a mix of action-based activities and physical construction puzzles, all whilst helping your human friends to research a strange and incredibly powerful energy source. So far, Tentacular has received excellent reviews. Who wouldn't want to be a squid out of water? Next up is a game I know you've all been waiting for. It's Tetris. It's Tetris. The next game is Tetris. Okay, reviews say 10 out of 10. It made me fall in love with Tetris again. I'm sorry. I know Tetris is a good game, but are you seriously trying to tell me it goes this hard? In 2023, out of all the games on this list, it's Tetris that gets the perfect score. Moving on. Final 5 games on the list now. Thumper. If you're tired of seeing these rhythm games for VR, well, here's one a little different because it brings something else to the genre: violence. Instead of happy music to dance along to, Thumper turns you into a space beetle and sends you hurling down the track with blistering speed. Your job is to brave the hellish void and confront a maniacal giant head from the future. If you want a rhythm game with a little more violence and horror, Thumper might be for you. Speaking of horror, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, Retribution. Your tour through the undead New Orleans continues in the newest chapter to the Walking Dead Saints and Sinner franchise. Hunted Confronted by the seemingly unstoppable Axemen and facing off against the Tower's latest push for total dominance, discover what connects these new threats together before it's too late. New faces, places, weapons and gear all await you on your journey to a final showdown for the city's fates. That's if you have what it takes to survive. Like I said before, I'm a sucker for anything with zombies, and yes, I'm a massive Walking Dead fan. Alchemy Labs are back. That's right, the creators of Job Simulator and Cosmonious High are here once again with another simulation game, Vacation Simulator. These guys are basically just giving you a whole life to live out in VR. Go to school, get a job, take a vacation. Next up on the list, Midlife Crisis Simulator. No, I'm just kidding. But if you do want to take a virtual holiday in a vivid and vibrant world where you can splash around in the sea, take selfies, or just go for a hike, all just to relax, then VacaSim has what you need.
Who needs hands when you can have bats?
Sure, I guess. Make your way through a series of increasingly silly mini-games in slapstick VR comedy, What the Bat? The description here says you can swing your way over 100 levels of batting, cooking, shooting, smashing, parking, painting, pickling, petting. It says here you can pet the dog. I'm in. What the Bat is a zany comical game that sees you causing mayhem because, well, you have bats for hands. What else are you gonna do? I think this is one of those games you just can't hate. And last up on the list is a free upgrade, Zenith, The Lost City. This is an insanely fun looking anime MMO JRPG. Immerse yourself in the stunning lush world of Zenith with intense fast paced combat and the ability to climb any surface and glide, well, wherever you need to go. Zenith The Lost City is a surprisingly rich and ambitious project that seeks to breathe life into classic MMO tropes. You can fight, craft and explore in this massive world, forge alliances and friendships in guilds and parties, and even join epic raids and world events. Out of all the games on this list, I think this is the one I'm personally most excited for. But what about you? What VR games are you looking forward to in 2023? For more gaming news that's good to know, you might want to subscribe. A like is always appreciated. My name's Eden from Good to Know Gaming, and until next time, it's been a pleasure.